the DC English podcast.
You are never going to just wake up one morning and speak perfect English. It is a nice dream, but it is a complete lie. That magical day is just never coming.
Exactly. You do not just open your eyes, get out of bed, and suddenly know thousands of words. If you are waiting for that perfect morning where everything feels easy and you make zero mistakes, you are going to be waiting forever, right? Today, we are going to tell you how to stop waiting and, well, how to start building your real fluency right now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the DC English podcast. I am your host, Lita, coming to you right from the nation's capital.
And I am your co-host, Noah. It is a beautiful, quiet morning here by the Potomac River, and we are so incredibly grateful to be spending it with you.
It is great to have you here, Noah. You know, before we turned the microphones on today, you were telling me about a guy you met at the park yesterday. It really connects to what we just said in the opening, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I was sitting on a bench, and the man next to me was reading a very thick English grammar book. We started chatting, and he told me he has been studying English for 5 whole years.
Oh, wow. 5 years is a long time. He must know a lot of vocabulary, right?
He does. He can read almost anything. But then he told me something so sad. He said he is still waiting for the day he feels ready to actually speak to people. He looked at me and said, Noah, I just need to finish this book and get my grammar perfect. And then one day I will finally start talking.
5 years of studying, and he is still waiting for that one day. That honestly breaks my heart because that is exactly what we are talking about today, the trap of waiting for one day.
Right. We tell ourselves this lie all the time. We say, one day I will speak up in my meeting at work. One day I will join an English conversation group. One day I will watch a movie without the subtitles. We think that if we just read enough books, the fear will magically go away, you know?
But the fear does not go away because the perfect moment is just a story we tell ourselves so that we do not have to be brave. When you are a beginner at anything, it feels uncomfortable. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to feel a little bit silly sometimes, right? That is just part of being human.
I mean, I know exactly how this feels. I remember when we were trying to learn Arabic. For the longest time, I did the exact same thing as that man in the park. I told myself, um, one day I will speak to the people at the market. I just need to learn a few more verb rules. I just need my American accent to be a little bit better.
You were using studying as an excuse to hide. I did it too. We hide behind our textbooks because books do not judge us. Books do not look at us funny when we mispronounce a word. But hiding doesn't make you a better speaker. It just makes you a lonely student, right? Wait, miss?
Exactly. So today we want to invite our listeners to change their mindset completely. Instead of saying one day, we want you to say, today is day one.
Today is day one. That mental shift changes everything. Day one means right now with whatever vocabulary you have, wherever you are in the world. It is a decision to just step into the arena and try.
Right. It does not matter if you have tried before and quit. It does not matter if you feel nervous. The only thing that matters is that you begin. There is absolutely no shame in starting over. In fact, beginning again shows an incredible amount of strength. It shows you have persistence.
Persistence. That is a word I really want us to focus on today. Persistence means you keep doing something even when it is difficult. You keep going even when you are tired after a long day of work and, well, your brain just wants to rest, you know?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people misunderstand persistence. They think it means you have to study perfectly for 3 hours every single day. People make these huge, impossible plans. They tell themselves, I am too busy during the week, so I will just study English for 5 hours this Saturday.
I used to do that all the time, but then Saturday comes and you have to clean your house, or you have to take care of your family, or you are just completely exhausted from a long week of working. So, what happens? You do not study at all, and then you feel guilty. You feel like a failure. Weeks pass by, and your English stays exactly the same.
This is why small wins are so much more powerful than big plans.
What does a small win look like for someone who is struggling with their English right now?
A small win is just learning 5 new words today. That is it, just 5 words. Even if you are completely exhausted, you can find the energy to learn 5 words, right? If you do that every single day, that is over 1,800 new words in a single year. That is a massive amount of vocabulary.
Ah, listening to one short podcast episode is a small win. Reading one tiny news article is a small win. These small actions build your habit, and when a habit gets strong enough, it becomes automatic.
Think about brushing your teeth. You do not wake up and think, oh no, I have to brush my teeth today. How will I ever find the time? You just do it. It is an automatic part of your morning. That is the true power of small actions repeated every day. If you listen to this podcast every morning while you drink your coffee, eventually it will feel strange if you do not listen to it, right?
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You are saying, Lita, I live in a very small town. Nobody around me speaks English. How can I possibly practice if my environment isn't giving me the chance?
I totally get that feeling. When we started getting serious about learning Arabic, we lived in a neighborhood where nobody spoke it. There were no community classes nearby. It felt very isolating. Isolating means you feel cut off from the world, separated from the people and things that could help you grow.
Hmm. But here is the good news. Your physical environment is only one part of your world. You also have a digital environment, and you can change your digital environment right now, today, completely for free.
You can change the language on your phone to English. You can change your computer settings to English. You can start following English speaking creators on your social media. That is exactly what I did with my phone when I was learning Arabic. At first, it was so confusing. I did not know where anything was on my screen. But every single day, I was seeing those new words in a real context. I learned the word for settings. I learned the word for notifications. Just small, practical things.
And slowly, your brain starts to relax. It stops feeling like a strange foreign language and it starts feeling familiar. Familiar is a great word. It means something is known to you. It feels like a friend. When English feels familiar, that is when your real fluency begins.
There is another completely free way to build that familiarity. It might sound a little funny, but you need to start talking to yourself.
Oh, I am a huge fan of talking to yourself. When you are making dinner, just describe what you are doing out loud. Say, I am chopping the onions. I am adding olive oil to the pan. The food smells really good today.
Yes. Or when you are walking to the bus stop, look around and say, the sky looks dark today. There are a lot of cars on the road. This is what we call thinking in English. When you teach yourself how to think in English, speaking to other people becomes so much easier, right? You bypass the translation phase in your brain.
It really does. But to build these good habits, we also need to talk about breaking our bad patterns. Patterns are things you do regularly without even thinking about them. And one of the worst patterns we all have today is scrolling.
Huh. Oh, scrolling. Just opening your phone and swiping through short videos for a long time without any real purpose. You look at a video, you swipe, you look at a picture, you swipe again, and suddenly a whole hour is gone, and you do not even feel rested afterward. You actually feel more tired, you know?
I will be completely honest with you. Um, I used to be a terrible scroller. I would spend 2 or 3 hours a day just staring at my screen. One day, I actually did the math 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is 14 hours a week. In 1 year, that is over 700 hours.
Ah, wow. 700 hours just staring at a screen. What was I getting out of those 700 hours? Absolutely nothing. I wasn't growing. I wasn't learning. I was just throwing my time away.
Imagine what you could do with 700 hours of English practice. You could read 50 books. You could have thousands of short conversations online. You could become a highly confident speaker in that amount of time. The time is already there, right? We just have to choose how we want to spend it.
And you do not have to throw your phone away. You just have to make a small trade. Instead of scrolling for 30 minutes before you get out of bed, you listen to this podcast. Instead of opening social media when you are waiting in line at the grocery store, you open an English vocabulary app.
Small trades. Over time, those small trades add up to a completely different life because your brain loves habits. It wants to take the easy road. So you have to make the good habit easier to do than the bad habit. Put the podcast app right on the front screen of your phone. Leave your English notebook right on your pillow so you have to pick it up before you go to sleep.
I want to do something a little different with you right now. I want to guide you through a very short thinking exercise. We call it the future self visualization. A visualization is when you use your imagination to see a clear picture in your mind.
So, if it is safe for you to do so right now, like if you are not driving a car or walking in traffic, I just want you to close your eyes for a few seconds. Take a slow, comfortable breath.
I want you to imagine that 12 months have passed, a whole year, and every single day for the past year, you did something small. You listened to English for 15 minutes. You learned 5 new words. You spoke to yourself in the mirror. Just tiny things, but you did them every single day without quitting.
Now, in your imagination, you are meeting someone new from another country. They ask you a question in English, and the words they just flow right out of your mouth. Maybe your grammar isn't perfect, but it doesn't matter. You communicate. They smile and they understand you completely.
I want you to hold on to what that feels like. You feel proud. You feel free. You feel like you finally did it, right?
That feeling of pride is completely available to you. It is waiting for you at the end of a year of small daily actions. Your future self is not a fake dream. It is just your present self, but with more practice and more patience.
I can tell you from my own life, that kind of transformation is real. Transformation means a complete change from the inside out. A caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. A freezing winter transforms into a warm spring.
When I finally decided to have my day one with Arabic, I started very small. Just 15 minutes a day. I spoke to myself in the mirror, which felt really weird. But after several months, I had a 20-minute conversation online with someone overseas. I made a lot of mistakes, but we understood each other.
After you close that laptop and sit in a quiet room, you think to yourself, you thought you were too old to learn this. You thought your brain was too slow. But look at you now. You just did it.
Oh, that is such a beautiful moment. A lot of people think their potential expires. They think if they are 40 or 50 or 60 years old, their brain just can't learn new tricks anymore.
That is the biggest lie society tells us. Your potential does not expire like old milk in the fridge. It does not disappear just because you have gray hair. There are people all over the world who start completely new careers, learn difficult languages, and build amazing businesses in their 60s and 70s, right?
Your story is not over. You might just be starting the very best chapter. And if you read a lot of books, you know that the best chapters are never at the beginning. They are in the middle. They happen after the character has made mistakes, learned hard lessons, and grown wiser.
Wisdom is your greatest advantage right now. You know things today that you didn't know when you were 20 years old. You have survived hard times. You have built discipline. When you take that life wisdom and you combine it with the desire to learn English, you become completely unstoppable.
So, what is your next step? When this podcast audio finishes, what are you going to do? I want to challenge you to do just one simple thing. Take a piece of paper or open the Notes app on your phone and type out 3 words. Today is day one.
Just those 3 words. And tomorrow, do one small thing in English. Read one single paragraph. Listen to one song and try to understand the lyrics. Keep going, especially on the days when you feel tired.
The people who actually change their lives are not always the smartest people in the room. They are not always the youngest. They are simply the people who refuse to give up. True persistence requires no special talent. It only requires a quiet decision that you make every morning.
I want to close our show by sharing something a friend told me when I felt like I was totally stuck and failing at life. He looked at me and said, "The fact that you still care means it's not over. The moment you stop caring is when it's actually too late. But caring means you still have a fire inside you, and fire means you can still move forward."
That fire inside you, that quiet desire to be a better speaker, to get a better job for your family, to grow, that is your proof that you are fully alive.
It is not too late to learn English. It is not too late to travel the world. It is not too late to become the person you always knew you could be.
We are so incredibly grateful that you spent this time with us today. Every minute you listened to this episode was a real minute of practice. It was a minute of growth. Do not ever underestimate the power of showing up for yourself.
If this episode helped you today, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Share it with a friend who feels stuck in their life. Sometimes the kindest thing you can possibly do is just send a link and say, "Hey, this made me think of you today." I believe in you.
And to you, our wonderful listener, wherever you are in the world, whatever season of life you are walking through, remember, today is day one. Your story is not finished yet.
Thank you so much for listening to the DC English podcast. I am Noah.
And I am Lita. Keep going, keep growing, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care of yourselves.